with you. In translation, bridge the gap. Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Now, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up. Don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself. It's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sunday of Man Translation, where we bridge the gap of communication between men and women. Because why? Men and women don't think alike. Men think differently. It's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And so I think, you know what I think too, people don't realize is that in order for you to make a difference, you have to be different. Men want, you know, women to be like them, and you know, women want men to be like them. No, we have to be different in order to make a difference. And being different is not popular.
No, it's not.
It's not popular. So it takes courage to be different. Okay. Anybody can be a follower, but it takes a whole lot to be a pioneer and a visionary and to deal with the scrutiny and all of the backlash that comes along, you know, with it. And so I'm Sky C, and this is Dante V. I'm resident communication and relationship strategist, who happens to also be my son. And so, so we come here also to talk about the family dynamic and to talk about, you know, how you can have, as an African American woman, how you can have a healthy relationship with your adult son. Doesn't have to be codependent. It doesn't have to be a dictatorship. Although when your children are little, it is a dictatorship, though. It is. As they grow older, it becomes more of a democracy, okay, and not a dictatorship, because they come into their own thoughts and they come into their own mind. The challenges with me and my two sons was just communication, and this is how this show was birthed, from talking with men, and not just men, young adults, and seeing that, you know, the perspective of a man is totally different, you know, than a woman. If we're to bridge that gap, we have to understand each other. We have to come to a place of understanding, not bitterness, not resentment, just a place of understanding. So that's why this show was birthed. And we talk about relationships in every aspect, relationships on your job, with your supervisor, your family dynamic, your romantic relationships. Because I know all y'all want to talk about is the man that cheat, but these days women cheating too. So
No, they're cheating. They better at it. What?
yeah. Who wants to be a good cheater? That's whack. Don't nobody want to be a good cheater. I'm a professional cheater. Okay. But today we're going to be continuing along in the vein of the suicide awareness, and we're going to be talking about breakups and suicide. And a lot of people want to unalive themselves because they broke up with somebody. Can you believe it? Oh my God.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes. Can't handle a lot of stuff. You know, it's sad, but I understand it. I've never been there. I definitely
I
understand.
don't. I do not understand why you want to kill yourself because you broke up with somebody. I don't understand that at all. I keep telling y'all, my issue is not suicide, it's homicide. So suicide is not my issue. No, 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 no. Exactly right. So I don't understand that. Dante, explain it to me. I don't understand that.
It's you basically, when you get with someone, you don't really have the intent. When you start that relationship, the intent is not to break up. The intent is not to get divorced. The intent is to spend forever or however long with that person. It's not a quick thing. So someone falls out of love or they don't view you as the same, you no longer want this anymore. Whereas though you do, you don't know what to do with that emotion. So that emotion, it goes unchecked, and it's like, "Ugh, I don't want to be here anymore because what do I do with it?" You spend your time with someone. Let's just say 5 years. 5 years of getting to know someone's habits, thoughts, emotions, all that, and now you're basically being thrown back out into the world per se, and you don't know what to do. It's like you don't want to date because you've been with this person for X amount of years, and now the dating pool is completely weird to when you first started. You've
Yeah,
heard the
it's
stories.
definitely pee. It's definitely some pee in that pool.
Nah, ain't no pee in there. It's diarrhea. It's weird out here. It's
He said diarrhea.
hey, it ain't right. But yeah,
I
but
go ahead.
you're basically entering into this world where it's different. Like think about when you were growing up, the type of music you listen to versus the music that's out now. Put that in realms of the dating pool. What you're used to when you were growing up, I'm just gonna say 80s, say 80s, be nice, compared to what's out here now. It's no, you don't want no parts of what is happening, what is going on. Then you have the, where do you be a good person, and do you want to put yourself out there? Do you have to go through the same things you've been through before as far as testing people out? It's a lot.
Um, I don't know. I think that you have to kind of look at the dynamic of a relationship, whether it be you're breaking up from a divorce or from a relationship you've been in a long time. I think that
Mhm.
what happens is, and the reason why, one of the reasons why people take it so hard is because when you get into a relationship, you lose yourself. See, suicide is all about the killing of self. So when you get into a relationship, and if you immerse your whole identity, your whole self into another person, then when y'all break up and it doesn't work out, you're not going to know what to do.
Right, because you've literally given yourself to that person, and they haven't given anything back in return. So it's like you have to now, know who you are, know what you like,
Yeah.
what y'all like. But as far as you go, that aspect of you, it's difficult because now you're doing this on your own. When you're used to having someone there, and it's weird. I don't want to do it, and most people, unfortunately, they go through though that depression, and it hits harder the longer you've been in it.
I don't know. I think for me, I can only talk about my own experience. For me, it was just like it was almost like, those of you that come on the show, you know that I am not interested in being married, because for me marriage feels like a cage. For me marriage felt like that I was not able to spread my wings and fly. I wasn't able to be the person that I knew that I could be. So when things didn't work out, even though we were together for a long time, when things didn't work out, for me that was an opportunity for me to be free. It was an opportunity for me to, pursue my goals, to pursue my dreams, to do the things that I always wanted to do that I had put on the back burner. So I mean, you're gonna go through the depth of the relationship. You're gonna go through the stages of death of relationship. You're gonna go through the anger. You're gonna go through, the bitterness. You're gonna go through the denial. You're gonna go through all of those stages. But those stages are part of the process of the breakup. Because to me, it doesn't really matter whether you're married or whether you are common law. The What makes you married is the sex in the intercourse, not the piece of paper. The piece of paper
Right.
only makes it legal. And so a breakup is a breakup. You know what I'm saying? A breakup is a breakup. And I think that people that think about suicide, they think about what could have been. They feel
Mm.
like they're losing. Yeah, what could have been. Talk about it.
No, it's you're absolutely right. It's like what could have been, and then what happened. It's almost like that, that promising kid. They're doing well in sports. They got the scholarship, and everyone's looking at them. Then they get this injury, and then nobody cares anymore. It's like that. It's like you're looking forward to the rest of your life with this particular person, and everything is going well, and everything is good because it's always going well and good to one person, but that other person, completely different mindset.
But I
So
think the
it's like
thing is that it's a coming together of a dream, because I think normally when you come together with somebody, you may not know that you have a vision, you may not articulate it, but you know that you want to accomplish something with this person. And so when the relationship doesn't work out, you feel as though that dream is never going to come about. It could have been you guys could have dreamed of opening up a restaurant together, and
uh-huh.
or you could have dreamed of opening up a bed and breakfast down in Martha's Vineyard. And now that you guys have broken up, you feel like that dream is never going to come to fruition. So I think that you are living in a space in your mind. It's like, man, I really wanted to do that. Now we're not together. Now we're not
You
going to
can
do
still
that
do it.
anymore.
You can still do it. You just ain't gonna do it with them. That's the dream
Exactly. But
is
I think
still
that,
there. The players might be different.
yeah.
I
I
ain't
just
even
think
going.
that the suicide is, last week we talked about suicide, the final act. When you physically kill yourself, it's because you have been killing yourself slowly in different ways, whether it be submersing your identity in the life of somebody else, because that's a form of killing of self too. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have your own identity, and I think that all of us who have been in long term relationships. I went through that myself. I got
Mhm.
married young, so when the marriage was over, I knew what I wanted to do. But in order for you, God bless you, in order for you to do what it is you see yourself doing, you have to become a certain person in order to accomplish
Mhm.
that. And I don't think people realize that. The person that you see in your future, you got to become that person in order for you to accomplish that thing. And so, I went more to I think I just kind of defaulted to action. I just was like, okay, I've been married, I haven't had a chance to do this for myself and that for myself. I want to do this for myself, I want to do that for myself. And I just went into action mode because I had to prove to myself that I could take care of me because somebody had been taking care of me for a really long time. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to prove to me, not to nobody else, that I could take care of me, that I could accomplish my goals and my dreams and the things that I wanted to do because I knew that I was more than capable. So I think that, that it should be a rebirth instead of just a death. Like that part of your life
No.
dies,
Mhm.
but there's another part of your life that resurrects.
Exactly. But you have to resurrect it. And
You
like
have
you
to
said,
resurrect.
you had to prove to yourself, which is a beautiful thing. Because again, for however amount of years, it was you and someone. Now that
Right.
other person isn't there, and you don't understand the freedom that
The
you get.
freedom. Hmm.
Granted, yes, will it be a struggle? Because not all things are easy, but is it going to be a
Right.
struggle? Absolutely. Is it going to be an
Absolutely.
adjustment? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at this point, is you. You get to redefine all of this.
All of it.
Now
All
it's
of
like
it.
you don't have to go and ask someone, is it
Yeah.
okay if, granted, I'm not saying that she did, but, from for the permission askers, you don't have to do
Yeah.
that anymore. You can just
Yeah.
make those decisions. I mean, granted, you
Right.
got to make your calculated risk, especially if there's kids involved. You can't just be out there
Yeah.
all willy nilly. But you get to now, everything that I wanted to do, I can now go ahead on and do that.
Yeah. And it's important for you to do it. So, I think, and I shared my testimony about when my motherhood was challenged and how I had to put down all of the roles, mother, sister, whatever title I held.
Mhm.
I put it all on the floor because I needed to know who I was outside of my title. Who am I outside of mother, sister, auntie, grandma, all the titles that you have at your church, all the titles you have at your job, because your titles are not who you are. They just are what you do. So when you strip yourself of all the titles, who are you? Who are you? And I had to find out who I was. I'm not just a mother. I'm more than a mother. A mother is one of the things that I do, but I am more than a mother. I have a whole identity. I'm a whole person. Mother is just
Hmm.
part of one hat that I wear. And so, I think that when you're in a relationship for a long time and you identify everything about yourself through another person, I think that's dangerous because you've never been
Yes.
introduced to you. When you have immersed yourself, that's another form of suicide. When you don't have an identity, when your identity is the marriage, and people don't realize that it is two individual people first. Okay, the marriage is a separate entity. Okay, these two individual people and the marriage or the relationship is a total separate entity. I have a responsibility to look after the marriage and the relationship. You have a responsibility because it's a separate
Hmm.
entity. And we, two individuals, and people in relationships don't see themselves individually.
Agreed. Agreed. Even though you're with someone, you still, like you said, you still have to maintain that level of individuality with you.
Mhm.
You can't lose yourself giving yourself to someone, which is what scares me. When people say they love hard, calm that down. Love yourself hard. How about that? Love yourself harder than the person that you. I don't know. Yeah.
But they haven't met themselves yet. That's what I'm saying. Like when you've been in a relationship for so long, say you came out of high school and you hooked up with your high school sweetheart and you married your high school sweetheart. You haven't even been with yourself long enough to find out who you are yet. You went straight from high school, straight to getting married, straight to being a wife and a mother. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea who you are. And you're not going to find out who you are within that relationship because you're too busy
Oh,
taking care of him, and then now you got to take care of your children. You're not even thinking
yes.
about yourself. You're a non-factor in the whole
Yeah,
equation.
because to be in a relationship is servitude. You're serving that person is serving you, and if you have children, you're supposed to be serving them as well, guiding them, leading them in the right direction. But they get so caught up in the let me make sure this person is okay that, like you said, they're not focused on themselves. You have to focus on you. You had a life before this relationship. Keep that
Or
going,
if you were young, you hadn't had a chance to make a life for yourself yet.
man.
You didn't make a life yet. See, that's why it's dangerous to get married young because you don't even. We go through phases of evolution. We change. Like we go through the process of becoming before we can be. So we change. The person who we are, the person you met a year ago is not the same person now. I'm not the same person.
No.
My thoughts are not the same. My perceptions are not the same. My opinions are not even the same. The advice I'm gonna give not even the same. So we're going through these changes, and so that's why you hear people say we grew apart. We grew apart because you're going through your change, I'm going through my change, and we're not changing together. We're changing individually. And so I know
Hmm.
people been married 32 years and got divorced. It would have totally been a homicide happening for that. 32 years? 32 years. You don't, yeah. Somebody gonna be on the front bumper of this car. Shoot. 32 years of my life. Where you think you going? Chained up in the basement? I put all your retirement paperwork in. I'll be like, he retired. All your checks
Here,
will be coming to the house.
here at
You,
Man Translation, we do not condone tying people up in the
it's
basements.
like I
We do
was
not
watching.
condone violence or homicide to any degree.
I was watching. VC Andrews. As in my 20s, I would read her book. She has a whole series: Flowers in the Attic, Petals in the Wind, all of that. They just did a show where they did the backstory of why the grandmother lock the children in the attic. In the first book, which is called Flowers in the Attic, and it showed how she started out this wonderful sweet woman. she ended up she ended up injuring her husband to the point that all he could do was use one hand, and she used that one hand to make him sign away everything because he was a mean old little somebody. And so, yeah, you would be that one hand. You would be in the basement signing things for me.
This ain't misery. We do not
32
condone such
years,
behavior here on this show.
32
Thank you.
years, broad. You ain't going nowhere, okay? 12 years a slave, but anyway. um, yeah, people
I don't
can't
know. It's just I don't. I mean, maybe I have a different view. I don't know. Maybe, I guess because I've been through so much. I've been through a lot. It's like if you decide you want to go, go.
because there's nobody that I can't live without. When you come to the conclusion that you can't live without a human being, that's a really dangerous place to be.
I bet you I will. I bet you it's gonna be peaceful as hell too. Probably not at the beginning. You know, you got to adjust and all that other good stuff. But I don't.
And it's really interesting as I was reading about breakups and suicide for suicide awareness. The people that break down the most are men.
Yeah, because who are we talking to? We have no support group at all.
But
I can't
y'all
call
be
another
saying about
man.
cheating then. Don't cheat. You can't handle it. Stop cheating then.
Oh my God, we're talking about emotions. That's the other issue because they can't control it. You see, you told me no, so I went out and found somebody else. All the way. Not even, you can't even condone that.
And then not only that, okay, this is a communication show. A lot of times, the relationships break up because of lack of communication. There's no understanding, and
That's the
people also in relationships don't know how to argue. So I think that the killing of self. What does that?
because they don't like they get to argument. It's like immediate low blows. Just
Your
everything is
mama.
gonna hurt.
That's why your mama is a crack addict.
That's why you keep pissing in the
That's why
bed.
your
Like, hey,
daddy.
wait a minute. Hey,
That's why
I
your
told you that
daddy
out of
is a crack.
confidence. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So the communication, and see, when you put those words out there, you can't take those words back. So a lot of times when people are suicidal because they've been walking slowly to the brink, slowly with every argument, every breakdown in communication, every misunderstanding. Both of them are walking slowly because it's like people internalize the words that the
Yes.
other person say because you've held that person in some type of esteem, and so their words mean something, to you. So when they tell you you ain't nothing and you ain't gonna be nothing without them, you start to internalize that. You clutching your pearls. You start.
Yeah,
People say some really mean things. I watched the episode of I think it's called Celebrity Marriage Boot Camp or something, child.
okay.
And I watched it because there was a couple people in there that I really like. It was like Rich Dollars was on there with forgot what that girl name was that nobody even know he was dating. And I mean, they got into an argument. Everybody on there at one point got into an argument. What's that other girl? Michelle K. Michelle was on there. Oh my God, you talking about the venom that was coming out of these people's mouth to each other. It was like,
Yeah.
ooh, cringeworthy. And so they have a one thing that they do is they have like their young childhood self come in, and they have to talk to their childhood self and tell their childhood self what is it they're going to be expected in their life. It was really so powerful, but they bring on like someone close to them, like their mother or their aunt or sister, and they have to read to them what they said to the other person. Woo, child, you talking about some low down and dirty things they say to just to, I mean, not even tear you down, words to really destroy self. The killing of self. Suicide is the final act. You are slowly, when you listening to somebody tear you down and tell you you're not nothing and you ain't gonna be nothing or whatever, all this other venom and poison they spewing, they are literally murdering you with their mouths. And so communication in the breakup, that's normally why they break up because you can't take those words back.
Nope. You can't. You can apologize for it, but you can't take it back. It's like the
Can't,
damage is done.
damage is done. And so now resentment, starts to, yes. And see, that's what starts to separate you. The resentment, the bitterness, the unforgiveness, the anger, it starts to put a wedge in between you. And then you just find yourself arguing about the same argument, like argument part 235
At the same damn thing.
of the same thing continuously because it's never resolved. Because you're not seeing my perspective. And then when you're in a relationship, what also kills self is that neither one feels as though they're being heard. It's like you say, if you go to your partner and you say, "Man, my back hurt. I need a massage," and he'd be like, "My
My
back
back
hurts
hurt
too.
too.
I need a massage too."
My
So
feet hurt as well.
nobody's needs are getting met. Everybody is just trying to get their own needs met. You go to
This
your
is
partner,
why it's a servitude.
right?
You're there to serve other people. Hey, listen, I know your back hurts, and that's cool. Mine hurts as well. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go off, we're gonna go to the spa, and somebody gonna work this thing
And
out.
do a
What?
couple, yeah. But that's not, no, no, no. Because now your needs has not been getting met so much. Yourself, the killing of self has been going on for so long that now you're in pain. Now you're hurting. And when you're
No.
hurting and you're in pain, you don't care nothing about nobody else's back hurting. You're just trying to get some relief for your back. Okay?
Mhm.
So that's how you know self is dying. Little bit by
I've been
little
there.
bit.
I've been there
Self is
2 minutes
dying.
out before.
And it's like everybody's like trying to grab onto the life raft, because my back been hurting
Yeah.
for years. Not it, my back didn't just start hurting. I've been carrying this thing for years. Now
Mhm.
instead of him saying, "Oh, you know what? Well, you know what? Let me make you an appointment to a spa, or let me massage your back." No, no, no. When you're headed
Ladies, ladies,
toward
hold on.
breakup,
Ladies,
when you're
don't
headed
let him
toward
massage your back.
breakup,
Don't let him massage you. He don't know what the hell he doing. Y'all gonna end up having sex afterwards. Your back still ain't gonna get rubbed. I'm letting you know this right now. Okay? Don't do it. Let him make that appointment.
but he's not gonna make the appointment because now self is trying to survive. So it's all about I'm hurting, my back hurt too. Your back hurt too. And guess what? Neither one of y'all back gonna get massaged and your back gonna still keep hurting. And you still gonna keep fighting about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Still gonna keep fighting about the same thing. And so, the breakup becomes so devastating that you can't even see past anything else other than the fact that you're no longer with that person. Now you're going to be pushed over the precipice. Now the final act of literally physically, and this is serious because this is happening now. I believe it's an epidemic of it for real. It's an
I can see
epidemic
that.
of it, and people are not really getting down to the root of, to the root cause, especially when you feel as though you're really close to that person. You've been vulnerable with them. They know all your secrets. You done told them all your childhood traumas and told them about your mama and your daddy
You
and
trying to keep
all the
that
bad
person
trouble.
under lock and key. You
Yeah.
trying to keep them around. Nope, I invested too much. I've told you too much. You've seen too
Mhm.
much. Listen, you gotta go. I don't care about none of that. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just me. Just, yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the situation with Will and Jada. They know too much about each other. They know all the skeletons. They know they know all the secrets. So now the relationship is toxic, and now we're witnessing the slow suicide of each person, and they don't even realize it. When you're in that type of relationship, you don't even realize it.
You don't.
So the worst thing you want to be is by yourself, and then not to mention um, relationship violence, because at some point it's going to get violent. At some
Yeah,
point, yeah.
absolutely. We all see misery. No.
It's going to get violent because you can't carry all of that emotion. Eventually, all of that emotion is going to explode. Anytime you carry a whole lot of excess emotion in your soul and it's not, purged out, vented out, screamed out, hollered out, worked out,
Okay.
some kind of way you
Some,
got to get out. You're going to now start taking it out on each other. And then that's where the shame for women, that's where the shame comes in. I just had a conversation with a young lady, and I was telling her how it's really dangerous to be in a relationship with a police officer, somebody in the military. A lot of the military, a lot of the militaries are psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists. Because a lot of times they run into the military as an escape. It's a lot of unstable people, and if they don't go in unstable, they come out something ain't right. Especially if they had
oh
to
my
go to
God.
war and they coming home with PTSD. Because the reason why we saying that is because we see a whole lot of like cases where women on bases have gotten raped and nobody has done anything. That's been happening over the years consistently. You have stories of I had a friend who she was messing with a married man who was a police officer when we was in Philly and we was going to Pastor Reed Church. He would stalk her. He would literally come into church and sit in the back of the church and wait till church is over because he didn't believe she was in church. He used to be beating the brakes off of her. He had her living literally in a condemned house. He bought like one of them dollar houses in Philadelphia. The house, he was fixing it up as she was living in it, but it wasn't livable. And they had a child together. And he had a whole wife, a whole family, and everything. He was obsessed with her. She was a beautiful spirit. She was so beautiful. He used to be beating the brakes off of her. And I remember he came into church and she was like letting me know that was him. I'm like, you want me to kick him out? Because I'll kick him out. I'll kick him right. I'll tell him he got to go. You can't stay in here.
Yeah, yeah, it's too much.
So when you're dealing with, because a lot of times women are attracted to men in uniform. You know how the saying goes: firemen cheat and police officers beat.
I've never heard that before.
Cause you don't be. Listen. I interview every single person that I come across. I don't care who you are. I could be in the grocery store. I'm telling you, I should have been a journalist. I done talked to
Firemen cheat
everybody.
and police officers beat.
Yeah.
Is that why you
And
didn't
see,
want
the
me to do
police
neither?
officer, they could do anything to you. Then who gonna lock them up? What they gonna do to them? Nothing. And they don't. Mm-mm. Hmm. Yep. So
I don't
violence is inevitable. Yes. We talked about the frequent fighting, the inability to imagine a shared future together. This is the major thing that people can't let go of. They cannot let go of whatever plans y'all had together that y'all thought y'all what.
I can. Nope. Mm-mm. I don't know. Maybe because I've been there before. Maybe because I've been in that situation where it's like, no matter how much you fight for it, if the other person doesn't want it or it's not in their heart, they gonna leave. So it's best that you just cut. Hey, listen, here's the plan. You don't like the plan. Okay. I mean, And I was married the first time. We had a plan. Everything was down. We agreed that we're not going to raise the kids in Philly because Philly wasn't a place we wanted to raise the kids. It was horrible. I was gonna work, work on little two jobs and save money so I can, buy a house and then everybody come to Maryland, so on and so forth. What? Them plans ain't go through. She done went down there and got her, somebody else, and then got an apartment and then enrolled the kids in school. I'm just like, what happened to the plan? What what's
She
up?
needed she needed a ticket. The feeling that you've been cheated on. You and I, we've talked about this a lot, and I don't feel as though that you're cheated on. I feel as though that a person makes a decision to be with someone else, and you have to accept the fact that they made that decision and begin to make your own decisions for your own life. So I don't believe that somebody cheated on you. Did they cheat? Yes. Did they cheat on themselves? Yes. Did they cheat on me? No. Go ahead, Dante. I know what you're gonna
You
say.
cheated me out of my time. You cheated
Okay.
me out of emotion. Yes, you
Right.
cheated on me because to cheat is to deceive. You
Right.
got me thinking, okay, it's me, you until the end, and meanwhile, you don't took a detour a while ago. No, you cheated. Now, granted, did you cheat on
But
yourself? Did
cheating
you cheat
on
yourself out of
me
some
and
stuff?
cheating on me and cheating me out of something. See, the difference is when I feel as though that you cheated on me, then I am
Mhm.
going to find all the inadequacies about me. Everything is going to be about, well, if I would have did this different, well, maybe if I would have did that, he wouldn't have did that. And maybe if I so you're going to be going around in your mind, you're going to internalize that he cheated and you're going to blame yourself for the cheateration, and you're going to keep and you're not going to be able to get to a place of acceptance because you're going to keep saying, well, you know, I mean, maybe I should have not, taken those classes because he didn't want me to go back to school, and well, maybe I shouldn't have did this, and maybe it was me that did it. Maybe no, no, because it's an individual thing. It's a character flaw in that
Mhm.
person. I can't be responsible for your character flaws. I can't be
No, you
responsible
cannot.
for that. Did you cheat me? Did you deceive me? Yes.
Hmm.
Did you cheat on me? No. So because if you're in the mindset that he cheated on you or she cheated on you, that's that's going to lead you down the road to suicide. Because you're not going to feel worthy. Your worth is going to be tied in there. And you're going to be feeling like, well, I done had these kids. I got stretch marks, and nobody going to want me. It's a whole domino effect in your thinking. When you internalize, you know, somebody cheated on you. They made a decision.
Ladies,
Okay.
men have stretch marks too. That's
Right.
all.
Right. What Cat Will say? Stretch mark mean you was big and got little, or you was little and got big.
That's it. And I was big and getting little, so there's that. Boom. Men have
So,
stretch marks too. All right,
but
so don't
but
don't don't
you're
be
gonna keep
subconscious about
looping these thoughts in your mind that is further stomping on yourself. Yourself is what? Your personality, your
it. Hmm.
individuality, your uniqueness. Self is what makes you you.
Hmm.
And if you internalize that he cheated on you, you're never going to come to a place of awareness of your true identity, let alone walking in authenticity. And so I think that these little steps that people take in the killing of the spiritual killing of self before they get to the physical part. Because I think that there need to be some intervention somewhere in there. I remember when I was going through the falling apart of my marriage, I had a support system. I had gave my life to the Lord. I was going to the church. The people from the church, they would come to my house. Everybody would be coming and visiting me. They didn't necessarily know that I was going through, but they just knew that I was going through something. and they would come, they would take us out. That stuff really helped to change my perspective.
Mhm.
It really helped me find my identity. And I'm so glad that I found my identity in God. I didn't even find an identity externally. You know what I'm saying? I found my identity in the one who created me. Nobody can give you identity better than God can. Trust me, nobody can. And when God gives you identity or shows you who you are, can't nobody shake it. It's unshakable. That's why you hear me say I'm invincible. Because once God shows you who you are, it's a wrap. That's it. It's a wrap. You can say whatever you want to say. I am impervious to your words. Your words is not more important than what God says about me. What God says about me takes preeminence, and
Mhm.
even over my own words, even what I say about me. His words take preeminence over that. And so when you get to that place, you become invincible. It ain't nothing that nobody can say that's gonna shake you. And so you gotta get to that place. It's a process to get to that place. But if you are allowing, the anger because you feel very isolated and abandoned and rejected. Oh God.
Yes, definitely rejected. Definitely
Yeah.
rejected. Uh, I guess my ability to get over stuff quick is not normal.
My ability to get up. See, for me, my ability to get over things quick is that I don't focus on the external thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when I look back on how I was able to heal, and to me, it wasn't a fast healing. It was just a process, and I, and
Yes, it's
I
always
didn't
going to be a process.
focus on him. I didn't focus on him. It got to a place. Now, in the beginning, I probably did while we were still together. But once we broke up, see, people obsess. Once a relationship breaks up, they be wondering who they with, and that ain't none of your business.
It ain't.
Who
It's
cares?
not. I don't give a that. In fact, be with them because the more you with them, you're not gonna be worried about me.
And
Because
not
I'm
only
with
that,
them.
they don't know how much of a headache you really are. You know what I mean? You taking the headache off my hand. You ain't got nothing. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
It's like getting the best of the dish and then you get the leftovers. I don't eat leftovers. Okay? I do not eat leftovers. You can have it. You got it. I don't do leftovers. You know what I mean? I'll go get me a fresh batch. And so people people be worried about who they with, stalking people all on Facebook. I don't care nothing about who you with. I'm not gonna be stalking you on your Facebook, social media. What? Who doing that? How
Yeah,
you
no,
gonna
no.
get over somebody and how you gonna heal worrying about what they doing and who they doing it with and stalking them on their Facebook page? You tripping. Mm-mm. Go ahead, I say stop playing.
No, because this actually happened to me. Um, they want They want that chase. They want for you to chase after them and basically, plead and beg for them to come back.
Is my name Fido? Do I look like I got dog in my blood? I don't chase. No, I know my last name is Chase, but no. Go.
No, so again, went through the whole thing with going through divorce, and eventually when we actually had a conversation, I guess she wanted to hash things out. I didn't have any issue. You made your choice, and it was what it was. I'm not mad. You did what was best for you. Okay, cool.
So you
And then,
gonna have to work through the anger. You're gonna be angry because you feel like Dante said, your time you were cheated out of your time. You were
yeah,
deceived out of your time. So you're gonna feel angry about some things. But I think that it's important for you not to displace the anger. Don't
right.
displace the anger. Put the anger where it belongs. Okay, you are
Mhm.
upset. Okay, so just use me as an example. Okay, yes, I did go through a thing where, dang, man, I could have been doing this. I could have been doing that. I could have been doing this, that, and that. And that's what made me just go full steam ahead. It was like, all right, I always wanted to go to college. Boom, I went to college. I
Mhm.
signed up. I went to college. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I always wanted to work at this place. Boom, I got a job working at that place. Oh, well, I always wanted to get this thing. Boom, I got that thing. So
Hmm.
it's like all the things that I felt like that was stolen from me, I really went out and restored those things back to my own life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and slowly but surely, everything that he had done for me, I looked up, I had did for myself. Even down to the traveling, us being him being in the military and us traveling around. I looked up, I didn't travel pretty much everywhere in the United States except for about the places I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Colorado because it's cold. I don't want to go, you know what I'm saying? Only the places, it's probably maybe like four places in the United States that I haven't been. So I've traveled extensively, way more than the places that he has taken me. I bought
Hmm.
myself things, even though he bought me a lot of things, I bought myself things that, only I bought myself. So it got to the place where I now don't allow anybody to do things for me that I haven't done for myself. I don't allow people to do that. And that's why I'm not so easily impressed when people do stuff. I'm grateful, but I'm not impressed. I'm not head over heels. Girl, he took me through the red lobster. Because I done been to five-star restaurants. I done flew to Maine just to eat lobster. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I say, why should we keep taking it? No, I'm just saying for an example. You
No,
know what I mean?
no, I know. Oh,
Yeah,
trust me,
I done look.
I know.
I done flew myself. I done flew myself anywhere I wanted to fly. However they say it, any place I wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for you to utilize the freedom that you now have because they made a different decision. And I'm not gonna hold you. I am not gonna hold you. It just bothers me so much when people be in these relationships and they act like they love each other so much. Then they break up and they hate the person. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. If I loved you, then when we break up, I still want the best for you. I still want the best for you. I still want you to be happy. Matter of fact, my fiance, hmm my fiance got. I don't even know. I have to ask him how long was it when he finally got married. Now I know he wanted to be married, but I knew that I wasn't the one he was supposed to be marrying. Even though he felt like I was the one, I knew that I wasn't the one that he was supposed to be marrying. So I don't know how many years went by. He didn't get married right away, but eventually he got married. I was happy for him, genuinely happy for him when he got married because I knew he wanted to be married. So now he's married. He done got ordained. Him and his wife done got ordained. And and when he sent the picture to our daughter, I was thinking, man, had I not followed my heart, you know what I'm saying, somebody would have been missing out on their husband.
Hmm.
He done went found him a beautiful wife. They have a beautiful relationship, and she would have missed out on that all because you know what I'm saying. I'm not content with me being with me. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that, he's found his happiness and he's finally married and he's living the life that he wants to live. So to me, that lets me know that we genuinely had love for each other. So y'all break up with people and want them to get hit by cars and want planes to fall on their house and all that. That means you ain't never loved them. And I know you do want to hurt them in the beginning, but, but for
Yeah,
real,
in the
no.
beginning, those feelings are there, but after a while, you can't hold on to that.
We
You gotta
really
let
want
that
them
go.
to be happy. I don't wish no ill harm on my ex-husband. I really don't. In the beginning, I did want to put sugar in his tank. I did. I did want to let my friends crunch him up in the back of the trash truck. But yeah, and then after a while, God delivered me from those homicidal thoughts. So some people have homicidal thoughts. Some people have suicidal thoughts. I think I know that's your daddy.
I listen. No, I've heard all this before. I know. It's just it's not even the fact that that
Your
happened. It's the
daddy.
fact that what connections do you have to have said thing done? What?
Some people develop addiction. Some people really go through when they break up in these relationships, and I just want to encourage people. I just really want to encourage people to take the time out to find yourself, because you are going to have to take
It's
the time to find yourself.
and it's gonna be a beautiful thing. You get to
Beautiful,
I don't know. It's just it is.
beautiful.
I've done some stuff and it was like I would have never did that had I been in a relationship, had I still been married, had I still been talking, like I would have never done these things. Granted, my mom would have wanted me to do half the stuff I'm doing, but it's just a little too adventurous for her. I
No, we
said,
don't want you walking on bridges and then you get to the point there's no more bridge anymore and it's just water and it look like you
my,
get ready to fall in at any moment.
my
The bridge can make you
I
right
went
by.
hiking. It's bears out there. All right,
Ain't nobody else out there. You the only one on the crickety bridge.
what that part didn't have bears. We talking about when I had went hiking and you called me. You're like, where you at? I'm hiking.
We
Don't
don't
nobody
have no
hike.
business out there. We don't hike. Black people, we don't do that. We don't hike. That's not things we do. And so take stock of your mental health. Take stock. Because in the beginning, you are very angry. You are full of rage. I've shared that story with y'all. I'm not gonna share it again. And you just have to just get a hold of yourself and say, I have children. I can't be in jail. I can't go to jail. I gotta be still. I can't go because I'm moving my table. I can't go to jail. I have children to raise, and I cannot
Whew,
raise them
Lord.
if I am incarcerated.
No, I definitely, yeah, that's not a place you want to be off of, because you in jail, and again, I've been there. You in jail over someone, and that person is still with whoever the hell they want to be with.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you in this little ass closet with somebody else, waiting for food that ain't good, and your toilet and your sink connected. No, it's not a good look. Mm-mm. It's not. No, no. You
And
need
it's
to be
really a
out.
good
You need to be
it's
free.
really a good time to I think that's the beginning of the taking care of yourself too. Cause I was like, man, somebody that took care of me since I was a teenager. I'm
Hmm.
almost 30 years old. Like, what have I done for myself? What have I done for me? And I was like, man, I just wrote down the stuff that I just wanted to do for myself. And I just started doing it. I sure did. And the doors open quickly. Because it's like when your destiny is held up, when you finally get to doing your destiny, the doors that open are amazing.
Hold up.
You've been
Hold up.
held back.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Because and the reason why those doors open up because they weren't meant for both of y'all to walk through.
Woo,
That door
come
was
on,
for
come on,
you.
Evangelist Dante.
That door was
Come
for
on,
you and for you
Evangelist.
only. You
Come
would have
on,
brought him
Evangelist
and or
Dante.
her through that door, and they would have messed it up. They would have messed up your destiny. So a lot of times you ain't supposed to be with that person in the first
You are
place.
not supposed to be. And that was the part for me that was hard. That was the part for me when I came to the realization by the spirit that you wasn't even supposed to be with this person. That's why you have to discern between whether somebody is ministry or mate. And even in high school, I always share with y'all, people have been coming to me with their problems since I was a teenager. And he was one of those people. He was one of those people. And so he was not my mate. He was ministry. But when you are sometimes when somebody comes to you of the opposite sex, it's easy for the attraction to, get in the mix of everything that's going on because that happens, when somebody is helping you,
Mm-hmm.
you become attracted to
Exactly.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
that's what
you guys are
happened.
together. The stores are being changed. It's like which is what I've often said. People be like, well, you can't help who you love. You can, because whoever you hang around a lot, you begin to grow have feelings for them. So yeah, it's just a natural thing.
Right. So I think that you have to start doing stuff that you really like to do, things that you've been wanting to do for a really long time. I think it's just a matter of immersing, your mind into something different. Don't
Mhm.
focus and obsess on the relationship. Don't internalize everything. Just look at it for what it is. Take responsibility for your part and just move on. Don't be trying to get closure. Don't be stalking people on social media. Let me have this one conversation. Leave it
No,
alone. Leave it alone.
oh
Because
man,
for
F
real, for
closure.
real, you already got your answers. A lot of times when people don't want to be in a relationship, they may not have said it, but their actions have
Check, please.
communicated.
Check. Now, listen. One, I've been saying this for years. You don't need closure. You don't need to have that one last conversation. You don't. You want to have it because you feel as though it's something you missed. You ain't missed nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. That conversation is not is gonna lead it's just gonna lead to an open door so they can lie to you again. And then now you back in this relationship that you shouldn't be in the first place.
Yeah.
When people want to leave your life, don't hold them hostage.
Yeah.
Go. In fact, allow me to get the door. This is not a revolving door, but
Good.
allow me to get the door for you. If you want to go, go. Like I literally just had a conversation with somebody where so I'm not fighting to keep people in my life. If you literally sat down and said, "Hey, you don't want to be here anymore," and you had that conversation with yourself, you can go.
And not only that, people are not really, it's an addiction. People are addicted to how that person makes them feel. They're not necessarily they're not necessarily all caught up in the person. They have become accustomed to, whether it be negative or positive, because see, you can become addicted to drama. I know a lot of
Mm,
people addicted to drama. They
this
don't
whole
like
generation.
peace. If it ain't a problem, some chaos or confusion going on, they're not happy. So you can definitely become addicted to drama. And so, I always share this, and I always use Whitney Houston because I feel like it's a lot we can learn from her life. Besides the fact that she was an amazing singer, when she did the interview with Oprah, she said it. She said, "I was addicted to him. I didn't do anything without him. Everything I did with him." And so a lot of times people are addicted to the idea of a husband, the idea of being able to say my husband, but yet you're in a really toxic relationship that's slowly killing you. That's
Hmm.
slowly killing your purpose. It's slowly killing your destiny. Your individuality is slowly killing everything that makes you you. So to me, that's a form of suicide. So if I gotta kill myself to be with you, then no, you're not the person. You have to accept that this thing has come to an end for a reason. Let it in. Let it in. Don't keep
Yeah.
holding on to it. You know when the relationship is over. You know when it's over. You know when your
Yes,
heart
you
is
do.
over. You know when
Gone.
it's, but now you don't want to let it come to an end. I know people that know their relationship is over, know their husband ain't crap, know their wife ain't crap, but it's like Gladys said, neither one of us wants to be the one to say goodbye. First one to say goodbye.
I'll be the first.
I'll be the first.
Because ain't there's again, there's nothing worse than knowing that you're not supposed to be in a situation, but nobody wants to make the first move to leave. We're just wasting time at this point. Ain't nothing gonna get
Wasted
better.
time.
Listen.
Wasted
I'm not
time.
sure if anyone has ever seen someone be resuscitated. They
And
dead.
how
You
much
brought
damage
them.
are you doing to your children?
No, it's a lot. But hold on. When anytime someone gets resuscitated because they've been dead, there's work that has to go into that from that point forward. But the crazy part is they need help. So you keep resuscitating a dead situation, and now you gotta continue to give it life on a consistent basis because it don't want to be there. It died. It does not want to be here. And you keep going back trying to play nurse, trying to play doctor to someone or something that does not want to be here. There's other things we could be doing with our time.
And it's
This ain't
amazing
it.
as you discover the journey of discovering yourself. I discovered that I was really smart. I discovered that I was very strong. I didn't realize how strong I was.
You is
I
smart.
discovered that
You
I
is
was
kind.
very resourceful. I discovered all the things that you need to be an entrepreneur about myself. I discovered that I was a natural born entrepreneur. I discovered that I was a businesswoman naturally, that I think like a business person. I think like an entrepreneur. My perception has always been. I discovered that I was a problem solver. I discovered that I was a coach. I discovered a lot of stuff about myself that I would never have discovered had myself continued to be buried inside of another human being. While people were trying to tear you down and tell you what you wasn't, I was discovering who exactly I was and who exactly I am. And I don't make no bones about it. I don't second guess it. It's just like in the song she said she didn't know her own strength. Had she not gone through that, she would have never known how strong she was and that she could come out on the other side. So you discover some very unique things about who you are. And it's not about pride. It's a truth in humility because those are very humbling situations that you go through. And I
Right.
discovered that was his loss. That was his loss. That I'm an amazing person. I'm an amazing mother. I love my children. I raised them. I sacrificed for them. And I would not change a thing that I've done, except I probably would have put more balance into it. I think I should have been more balanced. I was more spiritual than I was on the other side. I eventually balanced out. I love the fact that I protected them. I protected them with my life. Nobody's as under my watch molested my children, haven't been molested. Nobody has touched them. As children, that's not their testimony. I made sure they knew exactly who they were, what their callings were, what their gifts and their talents were. I didn't allow just anybody around my children. I didn't have a revolving door of men around. They had my undivided attention, all four of them. They had my undivided attention. I didn't date anybody. People was like, well, what's wrong with it? Because people feel like when you're attractive, you should be out there hoeing. I don't think so. I have children to raise. I have children to raise. They already have a father. I don't need to go find them no father. Just
I don't
because
need
me
to
and
be with nobody. I
just
don't.
because me and they dad not together, that don't mean I need to go find. They already got a daddy. I ain't got to go find them no daddy. They got a daddy already. Already, go call your daddy. I don't have to go find them no daddy. And so you discover some really amazing things about yourself if you just give yourself a chance to emerge. If you just give yourself a chance to resurrect and to be born. If you just allow yourself to be introduced to yourself and not
Hmm.
allow anybody to kill you, including you. Go ahead, Dante, close us out. Time be going
Listen,
so fast on it.
it do. Listen, listen. We gonna make this quick. We're gonna get straight to the point. Don't completely immerse yourself into someone that you forget you. You are important too. If someone makes you feel as though you're not important, that person's not for you. It's simple. You matter. And you actually matter to someone, especially if you have family, you have people that are there in your corner. You matter to someone. You matter. So you got somebody that when they get upset, they say how they really feel. Then they want to come back and apologize. There's a little peek in the window as to how they really feel about you. You not gonna kill you. Listen. We all gonna die of natural causes. That's what we gonna do. You're not gonna kill yourself. You're not gonna allow someone else to implant seeds in you that are going to explode later on, and you were sitting there in the corner rocking, asking yourself, "Well, what happened? What happened?" No, you matter. Breakups are going to happen. You can't force someone to be in your life who does not want to be there. Does it suck? It does. Is it going to hurt? Yes. Will you heal from it? Absolutely. Will you become a better person because you're going to be able to look back on the hindsight and gain knowledge on what you could have done better? The type of person that you want to be with versus the type of person you shouldn't be with? Absolutely. You gain more knowledge, unfortunately, looking back on situations, whereas though we're not going to focus on all the negative. You failed a test. Yes, you got some questions right, but the ones that you got wrong, you can go back and study and say, hey, well, here's where I messed up at. So the next time we don't have to go through this. Suicide is not the answer. I mean, I know it's a thing out there going out saying that I'd rather hear your story than to listen to what's the thing called at where they say the
Eulogy,
stuff.
your
Yeah,
eulogy.
that yeah, somebody's always willing to listen. But also with that being said, find the right person to talk to because not all people actually want to hear your story. They want to hear it to gain ammunition. Again, I'm always going to be an advocate for therapy, counseling, talk to someone who actually gives a damn about you. And that's it. Breakups going to happen. That's part of
And
life.
sometimes you're gonna be the one doing the breaking up too. Sometimes you're gonna
Oh,
be the one doing the breaking up, you know. But it's just a part of life. It's just not something that you just internalize. And I think that's the biggest thing I could really say. It's about a lot
mhm.
of things. It's a lot of decisions. You know, it's just like growing up. You know, your parents make decisions. You're not happy about the decision. What you gonna do? So a lot of times you can't internalize things. You know, people gonna be who they are. You know, so
Mhm.
you have to learn how to put things all in the proper perspective so you can come out a better you and a healthier you. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you all for
Thank you. Thank you.
sharing. We will see you all next Sunday. I think we have what, two more. We're gonna do maybe like one more. We're gonna wrap this up next week. We're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Um because I know I just wanted to bring like a different perspective. I didn't just want to talk about I wanted to talk about the steps up to that lead up to the final act. You know, the everyday
Right.
thing that people go through. So, you know, you guys, when you come here, you always hear something that you never heard before. So we guys will see you.
Mhm.
Like and share. Like and share. We'll see you
Tell your
next.
mom and them.
Tell your mom and them.